Hello, welcome to Power Now Me tries to beat Engine content. So today we are going to be reviewing some new evolutions that have come to North America, and a Godfest exclusive that will come to North America soon, and lastly a Descended boss that will be appearing in in North America Puzzle Dragons soon. So first things first, let's actually talk about this Facebook post here, which was yesterday. I just didn't have the energy to do this yesterday, but also I was thinking like Madoo is going to come out soon, the new GFE, and then I might as well wait for that post to do this review thing. So we got some new evolutions. So what we got is we got some Mega forms, not Mega Awoken for some reason, just Mega Blue Odin and Red Odin. So Gung Ho cannot decide between Mega Awoken and Mega. Maybe Mega Awoken is better, I don't know. But yeah, we'll see. So we have two Mega evolutions for the two Odins, 6-star GFE Odins, Blue Odin and Red Odin, and we have some alt forms, not Awoken forms, so I don't know what they're called. I'm pretty sure it's just an ultimate evolution for Nene, Oishi, and Nohime, which keeps their base form's active skill, which is the board change plus the 2 combos. So let's talk about the Odins first, since they're first in line here. Hopefully you're able to see this in enough definition. So the two Odins have the exact same awakenings. They both have, they're both unbindable with 3 skill boosts, an SBR, a time extend, and 2 VDP. So they are North America's second double VDP. The first one, I'm pretty sure they're the second and third double VDP, which is the first one being of Narukami Yu from Persona collab, which I own. Oh, so you can see the mic in here. Let's take it out of frame. Let's put it back here, yeah. So, in addition to that, they both gained new leader skills and new active skills, and they're both the same, except one's for water, one's for fire. In terms of the leader skill, well, let's talk about the active skill first, since it's first on here. Active skill, I'm looking at the pure heart of the magic spear. Change light and heal to water orbs, and add +2 combos for 1 turn, and for the fire one, it's light and heal to fire orbs, and add 2 combos. So it's a +2 combo count active, I think it's called a double orb change, where they make 2 orbs into 1 color. I'm not sure if it's double orb change or dual, like that part, not sure what the language is, but they make 2 colors into 1 color. Unfortunate thing is they do break hearts, so if you needed the hearts for some, it's always nice to find orb changes that do not break hearts. They break hearts, but you know, c'est la vie. Is that what that means? I think that means, you know, let me look up what that means. That's just a random saying. What does that mean? Yeah, that's what it means, c'est la vie. Which means such is life. Who knew you were getting I don't even know what language that is. French? No. French lesson? Literacy? Idiomatic expression? Anyways. The +2 combos is good for them to activate their own VDP, because we all know that it's difficult to make pixels sometimes, or VDP boxes, and also the orb change is good for box making too. So with two colors changing to their main color, it should be easier for them to make pixels, so it benefits themselves. Leader skill, 5x attack and reduces damage with 6+ combos, and 2.5x attack with 4+ linked water orbs, giving them a grand total of 5 times 2.5. 12.5 squared is 156.25. So not a super high amount. They do have a shield. It's probably usable as a leader. It's not the worst, because it has, like, you know, as a shield, it has a decent amount of attack. Not like anything like crazy. It doesn't really match up to the standard, that is the ×15 standard that I have unofficially kept in my brain. ×15 personal multiplier. But it's not bad. Probably slightly awkward to activate, because you do have to like make a water TPA or row or something, or L, and make 6 combos too, so it might be hard to get both of those things going at the same time if you don't have enough water orbs. I think the main use for both of these will be as subs. Oh, and the fire one, it's just that, but with fire orbs. Same leader skill. Typing wise, I believe the fire one is attacker and the water one is physical. And stat wise, the water one is 6k and the fire one has 28k attack, which is a pretty good amount of attack. Both of them have terrible recovery. Their main use, I think, will be as subs. I think these are both their respective types. Well, no. Well, yes. These are both their respective types best VDP that's not a Super Awakening. The only other VDPers that, even including Super Awakenings that I can think that are good, are for Fire, there's Ilmina, who is like the champion VDPer. For Light, we have Yusuke. For Dark, we have, what's she called? Valentine's Day. And we do have like the archdemons like Belial in them, who are arguably worse because they do have TPA and VDP, and same with Belial Amon for their 2 colors. But you do need to make the TPA and the pixel, which means you're going to take 13 orbs of their main attribute, which is a lot. So these guys can get pretty good damage with just their main color attribute and just the pixel. So I think they're both the current best pixels for their main attribute color. Teams you can use them on. Mega Awoken Odin, I think I saw is used for a Leo team in the upcoming Gung Ho collab, which we're probably going to get. Leo is a water main attribute, rainbow-ish, not a water attribute / rainbow type lead, and I think Mega Awoken Odin is one of his good VDP options. Mega Awoken Blue Odin. The Fire one, not exactly sure what it plays, but that's only because we don't have any premier Fire teams. You could probably use it on like an Android team or something if you're running that, or any combo-based team will work as for either of them as well. We do have a use for him coming up later in this video, actually, for the new GFE. You can probably use him there too. Yeah, you can use him as a sub for that monster, which we'll get into. Moving on, we have the 3 remaining Samurai 2 girls got their ultimate evolutions. So we have Nene and Oishi with the same awakenings, identical awakenings, and almost, Nohima almost is the same one. So generally, like, I don't really consider these, they're not very good. They're all 7 by, not they're all. Nene and Oichi are both 7x6 leaders. Cool. And it's 3x, but you cannot erase 3 orbs or less. When they say like can't erase 3 orbs or less, I'm like, that's not the best. And they only make times 12 for a 7x6 leader. It's not bad, but it's because they have the unable to erase 3 orbs or less that makes them not as good. So I probably wouldn't use them as leaders overall. They're probably very difficult as a leader to use. I'm sure they're usable, but nothing like really like meta defining at all as leaders. I think the best thing that they got, each of these 2 only have 1 7C. Nohime has 2 7Cs, but her Awoken form has that. I think generally speaking, for Nene, Oichi, and to a smaller extent Inihime, Inihime is the least relevant of those 3. I kind of like having them in this form anyways, not to use them as subs or anything, because they're not great subs either. They're like, okay, I like their inherit a lot. Nene is really good for Yusuke, and Oichi is really good for stuff like Green Sonya and Vraska. When they evolve, they still get a tricolor board change, by the way. Nene makes water, light, hearts. Oichi makes wood, dark, and hearts. And in their base form, they get a +2 combo count, kind of like the Odins do, as their additional benefit. But then when you awaken them to their other form, which is not these ones, then those become a shield. No, they become Awoken Bind Clear, which is not, it's like a very short one. So I like these ones for their inherit, especially for pixeling purposes. So best use I think for these is that they get better stats for skill inheritance purposes. For Oichi and Nene, I probably wouldn't use them as subs still. They don't really strike me as good subs, but you get a bigger stat boost when you inherit them, so that's cool. For these 2, if you have, 2 Nene and Oichi, you might as well make one of both forms. But I kind of feel like even if I had double Oichis and double Nenes, I would keep them both this form. I don't really see a point of this form is better than the Awoken one, is what I'm trying to say for these 2. Now that's the opposite for Nohime. I want to say Nohime, her leader skill is a little different. It's the same as Tachibana's new alt form, which, if you don't know, is a times 20 leader with pseudo, almost like a rainbow style activation, and a X amount of boards remaining, of orbs remaining on the board or less. It's a little hard to activate her, and there's better X or less orbs remaining on the board. 6 is a pretty nice achievable number. This I know from Raphael, done the Raphael ranking tournament, or Sleipner ranking tournament rather. where I found out that I'm pretty okay at getting 6 orbs or less remaining, but 5 orbs or less, that is harder. So she's a usable leader. Again, nothing meta-defining. If you have one Nohime though, I would keep her the other form. That one has double 7 combos, and I think it has the shield in the active skill, which I think has more benefits than this one. This one has the +2 combos, but I think with such a diluted, her board change is rainbow style, mine is lights, so it's 5 color board change, so that is not great for pixeling, and you can probably, just with the board change itself, can make a lot of combos and keep the shield. So I kind of find the shield is better. And the other form also has 3 skill boosts of Nohime, which is pretty nice utility. So I want to say if you have one Nohime, make the Awoken one. I think it's better. Maybe if you had 3, even like the second Nohime, I like the other one more. As a sub, like this one is unbindable, which is cool, but the other one has 3 skill boosts, and I kind of find that's slightly better. It's, you know, it's like up to you in the end. You could probably, if you had 2, you could make 1 of each, that's fine too. But if you have only 1, I would stick with the Awoken one. So overall in here, I think the Odins are more exciting than the Samurai 2. I'm not like really rushing to make any of these 3 evolutions for the Samurai 2. If I had an Odin, I'd probably make them into blue and green Odin. I heard they're okay for beating A3 if you were farming Arena 3. But let's get into something that's slightly more exciting, which is number 2 on our agenda, which is the new Godfest exclusive Madoo with 2 O's. I think we thought it would be spelled M-A-D-U, but it's spelled Madoo with 2, like a cow goes moo, with 2 O's. She is a 7-star GFE, and she'll be released starting this weekend. I would not roll for this weekend, save for Super Godfest mantra, blah 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 blah. You could roll for her this weekend, like when Reach came out. People, if you're Whaley, you can roll for him, but if you're not Whaley, like I'm trying not to be, or trying not to spend money in this game, I would wait for Super Godfest for her, because it's not like she's extremely pressing to own anyway, so might as well wait for Super Godfest. So she has 2 forms, like she's like the sister, the fire sister of Zella and Rish. She's a witch, as per usual, I suppose, as the theme goes. She has, this is her base form, this one with the, which I could show you everything in one frame, but it seems to be, I don't know why Facebook does this, where I like turn the phone and it's like, oh, you can see everything. That's like so stupid. Like, who wants that? Who's asking for that functionality? Like, no one. I'm not asking for like that functionality. So I'm gonna try to hold in frame as much as I can. But we'll see. Like, this is so annoying. Facebook. Facebook app is silly. Like, nobody wants that. Oh, we kind of got it. Oh, no, we didn't. We lost it. Okay. So, here's her awakenings. We'll go over those first. She has 2 skill boost pluses. So 4 effective skill boosts on her base form and 4 fire rows, which kind of matches her leader skill, which is 15x leader skill with orb move time plus 3 seconds, which is a lot. And you want to make combos and also erase 6 or more orbs. Or fire, doesn't say fire orbs. So the interesting thing about Madoo, which you'll see in her other form as well over here, is that it doesn't say what color the linked orbs have to be. It could be like jammers or poisons or hearts or fire. It could be anything you want. It just has to be, you just have to link them. So it actually gives her a good degree of flexibility. Because she is fire type for both of her team choices, you are going to want to make, you know, fire main attribute teams just to consolidate your damage. But you can make a 3 match of fire and then make your this is really bothering me, and then make a 4 match of, or not a 4, a 6 match of anything else, and you can still get your max multiplier, which is cool. So her active skill is +2 combos for 1 turn, a lot of +2 combo counts you're giving out, and a 2-turn delay. It's fine. It's not amazing in my opinion. It's fine. The leader skill for this one, as we said, is ×15. No recovery and no shielding. Oh, there's a shield. So no, just it gets a shield. ×15 with the shield, which is not bad. However, I'm going to go ahead and say this one is probably by far the one you want to make. The evolved form, which is the Devil Attacker, who has no recovery, which is fine, as you'll see in a second. Her awakenings are way, way better, which I think she now actually usurps the position of best 5 VDP from, maybe without Super Awakening, from both, so Ilma doesn't count in that category, but she usurps it from, I don't know, that's how you say it. Is it usurp? I think it's usurp. Usurps it from Fire Odin, because she has 2 VDPs and she has 3 TPAs, so that's pretty cool. However, I think her use is actually, it's not bad as a sub, but it's actually great as a leader. Her active skill is the same, but she's 4x tech and 2 recovery for fire attributes. So this form, the first one, you can use any colors you want. You don't have to run a fire team, but it will be beneficial. This one, you want your monsters to have at least fire at either their main attribute or sub attribute, or move times +3, and then 3x attack when racing 5 plus linked orb. So it's easier to activate, harder team comp, and instead of a higher multiplier, you get a slightly lower multiplier sitting at times 12 personally with more recovery. This Madoo is more rounded out in leader skill and also easier to activate the multiplier in exchange for having a slightly lower multiplier. This one is one you're going to want to make. The team you can make with her is you can just run all main fire. You can just run all fire attribute stuff, like, so you can run her as a leader with great awakenings, I might add, and the +3 seconds, and great recovery too. She kind of has it all. She has everything except HP, which she has a shield, which so it, you know, kind of replaces the HP. For subs, you can run Enra, you can run like Joker or Ren Amamiya, who is pictured there. You could run Ilmina. You can like run whatever you want to, like your good fire, like Kusanagi Kyo, like any of the good fire subs. You can even stuff like Nohime, except Nohime's board change is a little bit diluted for Madoo, so maybe not Nohime, but stuff like that. Awoken Trelo, Firecon, anything you want to, just make it fire and it should be good. So she's actually, in terms of, if you care about tier list, I kind of find tier list nice in terms of general ranking for endgame dungeons. She's in the same tier right now as, who's a comparable leader? She was in S tier for a while. I think she is in probably a tier lower than Rish. She's in like Trelo and Riku's tier. And even like Yuki and Leo's tier, and Green Sonia. The tier above that is the one with Yusuke and Diablos and stuff. So she's pretty good. Just generally not as good as like, you know, Yusuke or anything, but she should be pretty interesting leader to use. Definitely can use to clear endgame content. And I think her leader skill overall for both forms is pretty unique. So I'd like to have her where you can get a multiplier even without it, with linked orbs that is not tied to an attribute. So pretty good monster, great awakenings, pretty good as a leader. She kind of brings fire back into the spotlight, or gives fire teams a chance. I think Trelo up till now has been the one thing that has been holding on for fire leaders, and now Madoo here is another great option in terms of meta fire leaders. So it's cool. So let's actually move on to the last thing, which is a new descent, which Gung Ho has not announced, but based on data mining, we know is going to come soon. This is Air. I think it's spelled E-I-R. I'm pretty sure you pronounced that Air. This is her picture, if you're curious. She kind of has like a clover thing going on. Yeah. Cool. How do I close this? Get out. So she's a god healer type, which comes into play. The god type is pretty useful. We'll go into that later. Air is a farmable descendant. She's a descend boss basically, and you'll be able to farm her up and get one, and that will be great because she's actually a pretty good sub. So let's talk about her. So she's a healer. She has a pretty good amount of recovery, 800, I believe on Paddock's 850. This is before pluses, I think, so she can have like 1,000 recovery or so after pluses, I think. Probably more than 1,000, I think. So it's pretty good. Her best attribute about her is probably her awakenings, but let's take a look at her active skill first. Active skill, bind recovery for 5 turns, woken mind for 5 turns. So green Odin style active, and she also makes a row of hearts. That's pretty good. She's a awoken bind clear, like a cleric type monster. Leader skill is nothing to really talk about that much. HP times 2, attack times 2. All attributes times 2.5 win 6 combos, so that brings it up to times 5, and then an additional times 2, so times 10, so times 100 leader with a shield and a lot of HP. So she's pretty tanky. Not much recovery, but she can use her, but you have to make hard combos. That's sex. Not good. But she can also go super awakenings. I would probably go, but let's talk about her real awakenings first. So she can have, she's unbindable with a skill boost and SBR, which is pretty standard. And she has 3 heart TPAs, and that's pretty great. And she also has 2 of these awakenings, which I believe is times 2 HP when you're under 50%. Or not HP, times 2 attack, which is a lot. That's like a double, that's like a 7 combo type damage. That's it is, right? Okay, 50%. I never actually owned a monster or used a monster that has this awakening. So she's pretty strong. If she's below 50% HP, like she can do a lot of damage. Especially because she can take a second one in the super awakening, which, or a third one. A third, less than 50% HP awakening, which if you super awaken her, I'd go for that one. Then she can have basically the power of a times, or of a, the power of a 777 monster if you're below half HP. Which should be easy to get to with such a high HP multiplier and easy to sustain with the shield. Now, her main use that people are excited for, which I'm also very excited for, is for the 3 heart TPAs and being a healer type with a lot of recovery as well. Previously, our heart TPA stick is Mel. Mel isn't bad for that, except there's a number of teams that want to use air for a couple of reasons. Number 1, she is dark wood type, so she'll work great on a Vraska team, or even, no, yeah, she'd work great on a Vraska team. The 3 heart TPAs, especially if you run like 2 of her, will give you massive heals, generally, especially with that recovery. Mel has pretty low base recovery, so you have to put the Valentine's chocolate box onto her to get good recovery, and that brings Mel's recovery after pluses to like 500 something. This will be like 1000 recovery, and Mel has a lot more heart TPAs, but Ares has a higher base recovery, and also you can put the heart chocolate box on her and have 4 heart TPAs on one, and that's pretty great. So Ares is a pretty good Vraska sub. At least she's one of the ideal Vraska subs, actually. I might swap my knees out with her, see how that works out. I think that would work pretty well for a Vraska team. And secondly, I think for the upcoming Mega Awoken Metatron, Air is actually a good sub as well, because she's God type and she's on color as a dark main attribute monster. So she's on type and on color for Mega Awoken Metatron, who has no recovery multiplier. So Air will give her the option. Mega Awoken Metatron is also a less than HP conditional leader, kind of like how Air is, or Air's leader skill is. I wouldn't call Air a leader, but Air's leader skill is like that as well. So Air gives Metatron a way to heal if you want to. If you don't want to heal, you just don't have to make a heart TPA. If you want to heal, make the heart TPA. If you don't want to heal, don't do it. That's kind of the nice thing about these heart TPA stacking monsters. It gives you the option to heal or not heal. So it's pretty exciting. I'm probably going to farm at least 1 of her to max skill. That will be the goal, if not 2. Probably 1 is more of an achievable goal for me, but she's very exciting. I'd like to use her on a Vraska team, on my Vraska team, as I said. If I get a Dark Metatron back, which slightly sad I got rid of mine, having slight regrets, but you know, if it's meant to be, it'll come back, I guess. Just gotta be. This isn't about Mega Awoken Metatron. This is about Air. So Air is a great descend, very usable. Kind of following this trend of usable descend bosses with Manticore and Panera, and even what's it called? To a small extent, Moby Dick was used in the most recent, and Bigfoot are used for. They all have uses for like Gem Temple at the very least. So kind of bringing descend bosses back into usability. She's even a pretty good sub if you get below 50% HP. She does some pretty good damage. So very exciting. I'll probably farm some of her. I have to figure out a farm team for her, but I think that'll be it for this video. A little bit of a long video. So we got, as recap, Madoo, the new 7-star GFE. We have a Godfest too, by the way. This is a Godfest announcement. I wouldn't go in. Although this lineup tempts me with Yogg, Ne, Cotton, Madoo, Rish, the Callies, the Sonias, even. It tempts me, but I'm going to not do it. I'm pretty sure this actually looks like 5, 10. This is less GFEs than normal. There's only 17, so probably going to be pretty bad rates, but I would avoid it. So yeah, so we got some new evolutions, we got a new GFE, and we got a new Descend boss, which is cool. So that'll be it for this video. One random thing is this Star Festival arrives, which is super random. So tomorrow there's going to be a dungeon where you beat it and you get a Snow Club Dragon Bird. I have no idea what this dungeon is. It's a gift dungeon, so I guess it must be an easy one. I wish it was a challenge dungeon. I don't know what people are gonna run this weekend. Maybe they'll be running. Maybe Arie will come out. I don't know. It's been a little bit late for them to release Arie though, for this weekend. But yeah, that'll be it. Hopefully, let me know if you are excited for any of these GFEs. If you'll be rolling in Godfest tomorrow or this weekend, not tomorrow. I would recommend against. But if you are, what are you chasing? I'm sure it's gonna be Madoo. But if you, what evolutions, new evolutions are you going to make with the new Odin and Samurai 2s? And yeah, so that'll be it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.